George Will with us now, NewsNation senior political contributor and Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist. Look, you've even got a UAW strike when Union Joe's president and Republicans can't capitalize. What's going on?
In 1962, during the New York Mets' first season, they were put together from the scraps and rejects of other teams, and they were losing 120 games. At one point, their manager, Casey Stengel, looked down the dugout and said, "Can't anyone here play this game?" I think the Republicans right now are the New York Mets of politics. The American people aren't asking that much from government, but minimal competence, pass budgets, get on with things. And instead they get this circus that leaves the American people embarrassed and exhausted.
Two things that American people don't really like being. Congressional approval, only thing worse than Biden approval, except for Kamala, is 19% approve of Congress's job, 78% disapprove. Noteworthy, we did not put the media's approval up there. This would be the question. Then why don't they vote the bums out?
Because the party has a tiny majority in the House of Representatives, and the tiny majority is part of an extremely angry group of people who don't want to split the difference. To them, politics is 100% or nothing.
Yeah, compromise is a dirty word.
They don't subscribe to Reagan's view. Look, if I can get 80%, I'll take it and come back for the another 20% later. That's not how they think.
I think about even somebody like Chip Roy, member of the House Freedom Caucus, staunch conservative, about as far right, really, as you get. Last night, even, he was saying that he doesn't support the stupidity among his own members. Take a listen.
The reason I was supportive of putting forward a proposal that would have advanced spending for literally 30 days with an 8% cut to federal spending and to the federal bureaucracy and moved the H.R. 2 border security bills because, Sean, my state of Texas is under assault. People are dying. People are dying from fentanyl poisoning. Little children are getting sold in the sex trafficking trade, and I wanted to hang that around Chuck Schumer's neck.
And now the government's likely to shut down, and the media will predictably blame it on Republicans.
Rightly in this case. Ronald Reagan once joked about a government shutdown. Let's shut it down to see if anyone notices. Well, they notice.
Well, they notice also because the media loves to make it
sure
a point to hang around Republicans' neck.
Competence is what they meant. Man, people aren't asking for much from government. They just like to get the trains run sort of on time.
The one other issue that we didn't put in terms of things that are going in Republicans' direction, at least politically, is the issue of the border. And we have the live pictures from Eagle Pass where there's 4,000 or so Venezuelans and other men of military age with tight haircuts lined up. Some from China and other places. Their intentions are unknown. But these are the kind of pictures that would fuel a real push towards Republicans. We're seeing these protests in Staten Island, of all places, about illegal immigration. It feels like, in terms of opportunity, there probably has never been a better one for Republicans.
This is one where the Republicans, not even the Republicans, are so ham-handed that they're going to be able to kick this issue away, because this issue is coming home to people, literally, far from the border. Staten Island is a long way from the southern border. And in every American metropolis, this is going to be a vote-driving issue, and not even the Republicans can kick away.
True, although you say they want competency. I guess Republicans simply promising to do better. They did that during the 2022 election. So far, nothing's happened in the border. I'm interested, though, and we had somebody from the protests on, and I said, why now to the guy, right? The border's been open for a couple of years. The border states and border communities that we've reported on have been dealing with the problems that Staten Island's dealing with day in, day out for 2 years. Nobody seemed to care. You now have protests in New York City. Now, does this change the Biden administration's calculus, or will they continue on?
Oh, I think the Biden administration can calculate that this is a disaster. They just don't know what to do about it, particularly because a city like New York was proudly flaunting its virtues as a sanctuary city until the people seeking sanctuary showed up, at which point the fun stopped.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.